What is up, guys? In this video we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of overseas suppliers and the pros and cons of domestic suppliers. Also, I will be letting you guys know which option you should go with. So really, I'm going to be telling you guys what the real pros and cons are of finding a supplier in China and finding one in the United States, because most other countries aren't as developed when it comes to manufacturing. So most likely those are your only two options. But that's not always the case. You may have a good manufacturer for a certain product in your own home country if you're not from one of these two places. We're gonna see cheaper options in China and then more expensive options in the United States, but also we're gonna see lower quality items in China and higher quality items in the United States. You may have a language barrier with suppliers in China because English most likely isn't their first language. So if you are in the United States and you only speak English, you may have a little bit of a language barrier, but I'd say 80–85% of the time you won't have that issue. And if you do, then maybe you can ask for another representative that speaks better English. So it's not that big of a deal. And then in the United States, obviously, you wouldn't have any language barrier if you speak perfect English. Now you need to find out what your game plan is going to be. Are you going to try to sell that cheaper item that you can get more of and sell it because it's lower quality and you don't care? Or are you trying to sell that higher quality item that costs you more money so you can't get as many units to start? So really you just got to pick from those two options, and then that's where you're going to find out whether you should go with a Chinese supplier or a US supplier. I would also recommend maybe starting with a Chinese supplier because your costs are going to be lower. And then maybe as you go into it and you start to make more money on that certain product, start looking into US suppliers. Maybe you can get your quality up, or maybe you could find a higher quality supplier in China, because not all of them are low quality. There are going to be some high quality sellers in China. Also, don't forget to factor in shipping prices. So if you are going overseas to China or anywhere else, you are going to have to pay shipping fees. That could be kind of high, especially if you're going to go with air shipping. This could be in the thousands of dollars depending on how much you're getting. So make sure you also factor that in. So if you are going domestic and you find a supplier in the United States and you live in the United States, most likely the shipping costs won't be bad at all. If you guys have any questions for me or have any specific scenarios that you want to ask me for my advice on, then feel free to email me. I'll leave my email right here somewhere. And I respond to every single email, and I am happy to help you guys out. So definitely let me know if you have any questions or if you need any help. So I had someone tell me that they found a good product to sell and they didn't know whether they should go with a US supplier or a Chinese supplier for that product. I can't just say, oh yeah, go with the United States supplier no matter what. I don't care what you say. Or I can't just say the opposite for the Chinese supplier, because there are different things that we need to factor in. We need to factor in quality, we need to factor in pricing, we need to factor in customer service, we also need to factor in practicality. So then he told me more information, like his US supplier was close to his house. He told me that his US supplier, he got samples from already and he liked them, they were high quality. He also told me that the supplier in the United States had good pricing, and also he wouldn't have to pay much in shipping because it was already close to where he lived. Then that's a definite yes. That's what I told him. I said 100% go with the US supplier, because they're local, they're near you, they have a good price, they have high quality, and you know it because you already got that sample and you know what their quality is like. And obviously they don't have any language barrier, so it's not going to be hard communicating with them, and most likely they'll have pretty good customer service. So in that case, then it's 100% go with the US supplier. In this video, I wanted to put all these different factors together to give you guys the knowledge to make your own decision. Personally, like I said, I would start with a Chinese supplier unless you get that perfect scenario like I talked about, to where that guy had good prices, good quality, and it was close to his home. Then that's one of those perfect scenarios where you just can't beat it and you might as well go with it. But if not, then you can go with the Chinese supplier to start, and then later on, if you want a higher quality item, maybe try sourcing another supplier from China that has a higher quality, maybe for a little bit more money. Or you can also go and look in the United States for that higher quality item and then start sourcing domestically from the United States. So that's going to be the end of this video, guys. Make sure you guys go down below, click on the like button if you learned anything new. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. And last but not least, go down below, leave a comment, let me know if you subscribed, or let me know if you have any questions, and I respond to every single comment. So that's going to be it, guys. I will catch you guys in the next video. Later.